Good morning, guys. I wanted to welcome everyone to First Among Equals podcast. It's me, the OG La Quetzal, with my bro,
Danny
de la Rosa.
La Rosa.
Yes, aka Boy Genius. We've been gone for a minute, so we are actually getting back on track and wanted to check in with each other and just say what's up to everybody. And thank you guys so much for supporting the podcast. I've had so many people reach out in the past few months. We've taken our own little hiatus, which is what you need to do to handle business outside of this, even though we absolutely love and appreciate all of the love and everybody who's been reaching out to want to get on the podcast. We are definitely scheduling more awesome guests. So what's up, bro?
Nothing.
After we just said we've been so busy.
No, yeah, well, life,
Yeah.
working at school, getting my shit together, being adults,
Adulting. Adulting is hard because I think that you always feel like you have to get your shit together. And I don't think it's ever ending.
There's a pressure to get your shit together. And, if I learned anything going to school is that that's not the same for everybody, but that's part of going through adulthood. It's what your shit is and what you need to do to get that shit in order,
And whatever that looks like for you.
Exactly.
Because, like all of our timelines are different. And so, because I think...
needs are different too.
Yeah, totally.
And we have, I was just listening to that Kanye interview, big interview.
Oh, yeah.
And he was talking about culture vultures and how this generation doesn't have our own culture. And it's interesting because he's not wrong, because we don't really identify with something in particular.
Do you identify with this culture?
Because
you're
to some
sounding
extent,
like you are.
Yeah, because I live in it, so I feel like I don't have a choice.
But some people don't I don't identify with, and maybe because I'm older, but I don't identify with certain aspects of our culture.
Yeah. And that's what he was trying to say. It's like, every generation has a culture, and we have a culture, but it's
like less identity in it.
It's hard to just explain because I can't identify with my niece on occasions on certain levels.
Yeah. And she's 15.
Yeah.
So
and
that's definitely different.
Likewise, I'm sure there's some things with my generation that you don't identify with. And,
yeah, absolutely.
And so on and so on.
Your emo skateboard. What is it? Girl pants. What were they called? Girlfriend pants.
They're not girl pants, all right?
What were they called?
They're
Whatever.
Just straight
tight pants.
Tight pants, all right?
That you wouldn't be caught in my generation wearing as man. Just saying. But yeah. Sorry, we're bringing up stuff. We used to wear the fur hat things and the things.
Oh yeah. See, well,
but that's for
things come and go.
Reasons.
Things come and go.
Yeah, styles. You're a very stylish brother.
But also, it's like in one of my classes, I'm learning that culture is slowly disappearing too, like real culture, because there's so much
mezcla.
Yeah, there's so much mixture that true cultures kind of get blended, diluted, looked over.
Well, don't you think though? I mean, that might be true in certain aspects, but I think it's like when you're too close, like when you're in the forest versus forest away from the forest, from the trees and everything, you can't see what it is yet until you're separated from it and there's space, and that only comes with 5, 10, 15 years of looking back, and then whatever colorless or diluted culture is in reality its own culture. We just can't see it because we're still in it. And I think that, because I hear what you're saying. I think a lot of the technology and everything that's happening right now is creating this very anxious-driven sort of reaction to so much information that we're taking in now, that we're not able to process everything. And it's the first time that, I think humankind has gone through this much information being blasted out from all parts of the world. So it's like our reaction to it is to just see it as being chaotic and just disconnected. And I think that's what we're all feeling, is the after effects of this continuous chaos and disconnect, wanting to know all the information but not being able to process all of it.
Well, it's being consumed, for sure. Just look at modern games today. There's a huge demand for that. But
Like, for example, what do you mean?
like all these new games like Fortnite, Call of Duty,
Yeah.
you know, all that stuff, I trip out because someone out there still is on top of their shit.
Yeah.
You know, and I see it in these games that are so intricate and take all this time, and people actually still dedicate themselves to it.
Yeah.
So, you know, it goes both ways. Like people can really go all out or not use that information in the right way. Like for example, too, like these TikTok videos,
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of commercials for it.
like those take a lot of time to
Like-
and creativity, right?
Yeah, which is wonderful.
But it's like people use it to kind of joke, you know. It's like a joke overall, and there's not really substance to it. They're just like stupid videos.
I think there's a separation now because before you used to just do silly things like that for the sake of doing them.
Right.
With people in real time, and it wasn't being recorded and created to a content for a certain goal or like likes or for other people
Yeah, for
outside of
likes.
your for the likes
For
and for
likes.
other people to see you. So you're not doing it organically for the sake of doing it for the bonding with each other. I mean, you are. I mean, I do that. Like, I feel like this is authentic, and I think that if this was 1980, we would be at a public access station and we'd be doing this.
We'd
Like,
have our
this
own
is
channel.
this is who I am anyways inherently. But I think that a lot of people do it, and if they grew up you know, post you know, the internet the internet actually being in existence, like born into the internet. So you are an internet native is what they would say. You don't understand the concept of just doing things for the sake of doing them, not for some sort of reason to have attention. And I think everybody wants attention.
Yeah, and that's what I was trying to say in the beginning, too, that you're just kind of thrown into this, like, nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, indirectly.
Yeah, you are.
You slightly want some followers. You slightly want some of that attention.
You think it's slightly.
Yeah.
But if it really were, you'd want more.
But I think you know better that it's not necessary.
It's not necessary,
Because
but being loved and being validated and
Of
being
course, but
wanted is necessary.
that's something different.
No, I think
I
it's
feel.
I think for the people who never got that, even in my generation of people, this is like a way for them to get that. And I don't think that it's bad. I just think we're not able to like harness it in a healthy way yet. I think it's for the people that were like the nerds, the people and not like the cool nerds like that they have now. It's like the people that are like ultimately, it sounds messed up, but like super unattractive, super overweight, super don't fit any of like the stereotypes of anything. And they're like living in a place where they don't have a lot of attention. Maybe people their age are not even around. Like there's a lot of those people. I think that this does serve a purpose. And I think for that reason, it makes sense to me sometimes. I mean, sometimes like on Catfish, you see these, I watch like those shows. I really do. I watch Ghosted.
This is not
I
a
really
fish
love
fight,
it.
people, okay?
But I think when you see the people that actually really need that kind of love and attention, like they'll off themselves, like if they don't have that. So I think that there are reasons for this to exist. I just think for the people that are already like narcissistic, hardcore, super, like already get a lot of attention, it can be very empowering, but you can disempower other people by being so over the top that you set these unrealistic standards for other people. And it's not their fault. It's just now
Well-
they have a bigger platform.
Society. Unrealistic
Yeah.
goals that not everyone can achieve. And again, I guess you're right in that sense. We all want that attention. We're humans.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
get that. And you're right too, the fact that, you know, like you and me kind of grew up without like Instagram.
No, I know. We did. We totally did.
And I
And
remember
we would just have fun and hang out.
being at the beginning of like MySpace and like
Yeah.
LiveJournal and stuff like that. And it was great that people can express themselves. And at that point, it wasn't even about the likes because LiveJournal didn't have likes really.
Did MySpace have like? No, it just had like message board, right? I don't remember. They liked your pictures.
And then there was like top 5 and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
So it got more.
Gosh.
Yeah, it got more
Remember
like
like
convoluted.
putting code in
Yeah,
to like design
exactly.
your page.
But that's what I mean too about dedication. You know, like all this information, it was at our hands, and we're like, well, fuck it, let's take the time to make my MySpace.
Bling.
Like, bling,
When
you
you see
know?
when the music starts.
And the same thing goes for Instagram. Like some people are very creative nowadays. I really like when people use like multiple pictures
Okay.
to make a big picture within.
Oh, you like that? Sometimes
Yeah.
I like it if they can do it like when they do that 4 square grid.
Yeah.
Why do you like that?
I don't know. Rather than just like one single picture, they're kind of using more of the space to like
Yeah.
to prove a point, I guess.
So do you like it more than if you had like multiple pictures and you have to slide it to look at pictures?
Yeah, like just
Interesting.
because it's bigger, maybe. And like also because I didn't think of that, you know. So it's like, oh, that's cool, you know.
It's like a 4-in-1.
yeah.
Okay.
Rather than just like single pictures and what I'm seeing too, it's they use 3 different pictures but similar.
Yeah,
And
I've
then
done that. I
that
like
ends
that.
up being like one idea and then another 3 pictures. So
Like a montage or
Yeah.
something. Like it looks like there's action in it.
yeah.
That's what I like. Yeah, like I like movement in a picture. If you can see the movement without, you can convey the movement without it moving, but there's
Wait,
movement.
moving pictures?
What? I know. The future.
We should invent moving pictures.
We should. And it shall be done. Yeah, I definitely agree. I really like Instagram, actually. It's hard though.
What do you think of them taking away the likes or what people
I don't know how I feel about that. I think that it's an interesting thing for us to do. I know it's funny because they did it in like UK already. They did it like in other places, but they haven't messed with the United States yet, which I think is hilarious. It's like other places have already kind of going through that sort of test run. I heard. Yeah, I don't know. I think we'll get used to it eventually. I know they got rid of this other thing in Instagram where you can see what your followers are following.
Yeah.
They got rid of that, and I saw a lot of people were upset with that because they were saying it was like low-key creeping on other people and sort of stalking. It was another way to stalk people.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Like, to
amazing.
see what people are
yeah,
watching.
It's amazing how little privacy you still have on the internet. But, I mean, people came into this knowing that there would be some form of invasion of their privacy.
It's all going to be... I'm at this point where there's no more privacy.
Of course,
We put
right.
the ring on the door. There's video cameras everywhere. If anything, I think what's going to happen is they're going to have privacy pods all over. And so they're going to give you selected places to feel private, but ultimately everything is going to be, policed. It's a police state.
Like a float tank?
Like a float tank. How was your float tank experience? We didn't even talk about this. I got bro a
That-
float tank experience.
I highly recommend
You liked it.
everybody do it at least once.
Oh, so you did that at least once, disclaimer. Because there's
Well,
people
I would
who
do it
love
again.
You would.
I would do it again. I think it's a little pricey,
Yeah, it was pricey.
realistically.
But-
I'm glad you got the promotional deal. 'Cause
I did. It was a twofer.
fuck, dude, because when I went, they were giving me like the rundown, and I was looking at the prices, and I was just like, wow, like I could buy myself one.
Yeah. Yeah,
or
but
I
I
can
wanted.
make my own with that price.
Yeah, you can make your own in your bathtub,
Fucking just buy a bunch of salt,
right? Jeez, Epsom salt in your
this
tub.
much water.
Yeah, but it was the temperature.
Shitload of
The
salt.
shit is the room temperature is exactly the water temperature. So it's technically supposed to, and it's your body temperature. It's supposed to be at your at rest body temperature is like 94
Yeah,
or something.
it was very interesting. It was like,
I'm so glad we're talking about it too. We never talked about it. That was like months ago.
fuck. It was very relaxing. It was very felt like a load came off of me.
Whoa.
Not in that way. And yeah, it was weird because the water was just the right temperature that it almost felt like my skin was kind of like it was the water, but it wasn't. And then I was
It
the
felt
one with the water.
non-existent, too.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
like the music kind of just fading out, and then like the lights just eventually going out, and your eyes are open, but everything's just black.
Your eyes were open. Well, yeah. I mean, you can open your eyes.
Yeah,
but-
because I didn't want to close my eyes because
That's
I'd probably
crazy.
be prone to fall asleep. But at some point, I felt like I was awake, asleep. Mm-hmm. Like towards the end, maybe like 40 minutes into it, I just felt like this lift, like almost out of body experience.
You did.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know what it was. I just felt like this. I felt like I was doing shrooms almost.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it felt really cool. I felt like I started kind of hallucinating. Like
They say they do. I didn't hallucinate with it.
Yeah, that's why like I started breathing and like it counting back from like 100, I think. And when I got to like 50 or 40 or something, like my breathing significantly slowed down. And then that's when I started to feel that like release of, I guess, psychic energy or some shit. I don't know how to describe it. But like it slowly started in my body, and then I didn't feel my body anymore. And so all I could hear was my breathing.
Yeah,
And
I
then
remember
that freaked me out a little bit at first,
Same.
because I was like, wow,
It's heavy too.
it's heavy.
Yeah.
And because it's so quiet and you're just like,
Yeah.
or at least it feels like.
Yeah. Did you wear the earplugs or were you earplugs?
No, yeah, I wore the earplugs.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, because I don't want that shit in my ear. Because I already know from swimming ear
Okay.
infections and shit.
Yeah.
But it helped because I didn't want to feel that, like, the level in my ears either. Like, that
water.
would bug me, that would distract me. So that helped. And then just putting my head back on the fucking little floaty. Like, eventually it just got to my head. And then that's when I started, like, kind of projecting things. I started, like, wow, I feel like I'm in space and shit. And then, like, I started seeing, like, stars and
That's cool.
just floating through a little bit.
Crazy.
Yeah, and then I think I did fall asleep for a couple of minutes towards the end. But I think that was, like, my peak type of thing. Because then I started hearing the music again, and then I was just like, oh, shit, I think I fell asleep, you know?
That's crazy.
Yeah, because I felt my eyes kind of, like, I guess...
Flickering?
Flickering, yeah.
Yeah.
But that's when I was like, oh, this is great. Like, I'm just kind of going with it. And then I think I fell asleep, but then it was just enlightenment. Like, I felt so good. I didn't want to leave.
Yeah.
The shower after was like, I felt like I was rinsing all the bad energy away type
Wow,
of shit. Yeah,
dude,
it
that's
was really
dope.
cool, yeah.
Oh, yay. I didn't hear, like, since we didn't talk, I was like, I wonder if he liked it. Maybe he didn't like it. Like,
No, like, I'm telling you, I've read about, like, isolation chambers and stuff, and I've always wanted to do it because of people saying that they've had those experiences. Of course, there's also the other people that get really scared and can't do it.
Yeah.
And then
I didn't go
after-
that extreme, but I think my mind is so busy. It was really hard to tame the.
Yeah, and right
Tame
before
it.
they made me wait a little bit until my chamber was ready. And then there was these two. I guess there were a couple, and they were like
Sitting
next
at the
to
couch
me,
area, in that little couch area?
and they had just come out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And you know, I was kind of eavesdropping,
Yeah, no.
but
we
I
were
feel
just in the zone.
I feel like I shouldn't have, because the wife or the lady was like, oh yeah, it was great, this and that, and then the guy, what did you think? Oh, I didn't feel anything, I just fell asleep. And I'm like,
wow.
and she was trying to explain how it was good for her, and he was just like, yeah, I didn't get any of that. And I was like, am I gonna be disappointed? I was like, fuck them, like, I don't need them to tell me what I could feel, you know.
Oh, so
like,
you're saying this was before you went in?
yeah, right before I got
Okay,
in, because
okay.
they had just come out.
Got it.
And
So she was feeling like a good wave.
yeah,
or something,
you
and
could
then
tell
he was
she was kind of glowing and shit, but the man was just with this coffee, like, I fell asleep, I didn't feel anything. It's a
Interesting.
waste. And I'm like, what a douche.
Yeah. I don't think it was, definitely for you, it was very different, vastly different from mine. I don't feel like it was a waste, but it made me realize like how much I have in my head that I
Oh yeah,
have
of
to,
course.
like-
It took me a long time to focus on the numbers. Like,
was that something that they recommended?
yeah,
I feel like I saw it in some
yeah, I think like I read
literature.
it somewhere, or when they make you watch the video.
Yeah, the video.
I think like they had said count backwards from 100, focusing on your breathing. And like the first couple numbers, I had to restart because there was just so much clutter in my head.
Yeah.
That I was just like 100, and then my mind would wander, and I'd be like, "Fuck! All right, 100, 99, and then
Yeah.
oh fuck, and then all right, focus. And it took a while before I can get to that focus moment, and then that's when shit just started like, you know, blending, and I didn't know what was what anymore. You know?
Do you find that you're good at like getting yourself to focus on things when you need to?
If I really wanted to, yeah. If anything, it reminded me that I do have the potential to focus, like 100%. But It's just nowadays we're just not used to it.
Yeah, totally.
Like I remember when I used to do yoga.
Yeah, you were so
I was
on
really
it.
into that,
You
yeah,
were. It was awesome.
and it was very, very hard to get to that Zen state where you're no longer thinking about anything else, but
You're
it's hard,
breathing.
yeah. Aligning your body and shit, but it's more of the mind, body, spirit thing. And I feel like I've been a little bit separated from that aspect of my life because, you know, we're so in the now. We don't really have time to, like, I guess, separate ourselves from that.
I think that's true because definitely, I would say in the past few months, I haven't been able to like schedule a lot in advance. Like my mind has not been able to like organize that thought in my mind and then actually apply it. And then like even just for like working on the podcast, I feel like that's been a struggle for me. We kind of fell off and then it was like hard to get back on and stay motivated. And I think that a lot of it is like that mind, body, spirit thing. It's like you need to make efforts to align yourself in one way. And like all it takes is like one change in one thing and then you can change something else. And
It's
then,
like a chain reaction a little bit.
yeah, it's a realigning. Absolutely. So I think, but I've totally been enjoying like floating around more and just doing things based on kind of now. But I think it is time, at least for me, to like realign again and kind of get back.
Well,
focus.
it's definitely a mental state change for me, living in the now, because I've been so hooked on the past,
What do you
like
mean?
for just because of shit in my life that happened, you
Oh,
know.
dude, yeah,
Um,
totally.
that's another story.
Yeah,
But it's been something for me that's ongoing to be more present and not worry about what happened, and just kind of look ahead.
yeah, absolutely.
And I've been incrementally looking further and further ahead, which is something new for me. And I like it because it keeps me on top of my shit. And even though like you get tired of just
Plowing
plowing,
forward.
yeah.
It
Sometimes you
does.
just get these reminders, and they're just kind of like, all right, you gotta keep going, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
And reminders on my phone help a lot.
Absolutely.
You see, and
That's true.
Remember, you used past Danny to remind future Danny,
When-
or what did you say?
Yeah, I do. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like,
future Lonnie,
future Lonnie reminding present Lonnie, or past Lonnie.
yeah, that
Yeah,
concept.
I gotta use
so
it. Yeah, the future me telling me what I need to do right now.
and then that future you get there and you're just like, fuck, I would have forgot.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if
Thanks,
this-
future Lonnie.
Yeah, like, so it's
Just reminders, setting reminders on your phone.
it's
a dork.
it's a very good thing, and
Speaking about Lonnie in third person is,
yes,
or Danny.
because Danny likes talking about Danny.
I think so.
I'm just kidding.
Same.
But that's one of the things that I have to keep reminding myself at school.
Yeah.
Just fucking keep going.
Mm-hmm.
I keep telling people at work, they're like, how's school going? I'm like, it's going, but like, they're like, aren't you tired? I'm like, I don't have time to be tired.
Yeah.
Like if I get tired, things slow down and
Shit doesn't
and,
happen.
Yeah, shit doesn't happen. So I can't even think that way.
Yeah.
Like, of course I'm fucking tired. Like,
Yeah, but why even bring it up?
exactly.
There's no point.
Because now I'm like thinking,
Then you're just
fuck, I am
complaining.
tired. Now I'm just
Yeah.
kind of, and I don't want that shit.
Yeah, you don't want to think that way. Because you know what it is too, is you convince yourself to be more tired.
Exactly.
And it's like it's a choice sometimes, not always. Sometimes you really are legitly tired. But when you're that tired, you don't even talk about it. You just go to bed or you just shut out. Because that's what I do. Like I'll just come home and crash if I'm that tired.
Sometimes I go to my car and I'll just be like, I'm just gonna lay down for a bit, and then I knock out for like an hour, and I'm just like, fuck, dude, I really was tired.
Yeah, you just
You
needed it.
know? But fuck it, I'm starting to appreciate naps because it keeps me going, especially like Monday and Tuesday. I'm at school from fucking like 7:30 to 8, so you know.
That's a long time
It's
too.
a long time, and it shouldn't surprise me that I need to take a mental break at some
A
point.
brain break.
Yeah, because sometimes I get towards the end of the night and I have like a huge headache.
Yeah.
Like, it's not from food. It's not because like I'm tired of learning or some shit. It's just like, dude,
Overload.
yeah, just overload. Like,
I think it's being outside for so long. I think something about like humans, we like to go in and shelter for a little while and then maybe come out again. And I've noticed that if I'm out for extended periods of time outside in the sun, it really, or just in out in nature is beautiful. But I think when you're out there long day after day, it really takes a toll on your body. I think it's just like the elements, like elemental stress on your body, even if you don't realize it.
Well, too, I've noticed that just being around people that long that I don't really know kind of adds to that.
That's true. I guess you make a good point in that too, because like if we're having like if we go to Park Jam or something and we're all together all day.
I'll be there for 8 hours.
Me too. And
I
then I
won't
feel
need a
good the
nap.
next day.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. That's true. And that's more because we're with fam and like
Yeah.
chilling and good
But
vibes.
like I go and like I sit in a class with 30, 40 people that I don't really know, who
You're right.
don't really want to talk to
and
me.
it's a facade even.
Eh,
Like you're
yeah.
putting on a face sort of like your school face for hours.
For hours, exactly, you know, and then you have to stay attentive, and the attentive thing is not a problem because I legit enjoy my classes. So that's the least of my worries, and I'm doing okay. It's just there's just so much information.
I get it.
Like that information thing you were saying earlier, it's not from the internet anymore. Now it's like go back to books. And that's what I love about school every year, or every semester, is that I learn something new. I encounter something that I wouldn't have otherwise.
That's true.
And it helps me like understand things and opens my mind up. That's what I love about school.
Totally.
That I wouldn't learn this outside. I could.
But you're not going to.
Yeah, and I trip out because the other day I went to talk to my philosophy teacher for a term paper, and I looked at his library and I was like, hey, I have those books. I have that book and this book. So, you know, it's good to see that I'm in the right track of what like is out there. But again, these teachers have their masters, their doctors, and they have taken the time already to study this shit. So they don't always know what they're talking about, but like the good thing is they try to see us what they like, try to have us see what they see. Mm-hmm. And you know, that's what I like especially the philosophy classes.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's the one thing I think, like going back to school and then finishing school, you miss school after for a while. Like,
Yeah.
it's funny because then you leave school and then you're like, oh, I should just like keep going and take classes and do this and do that. And I mean, I'm not going to do that, but definitely you sort of miss that disciplined routine, having like projects.
It's routine.
Yes.
It's having something that fills your day. And at the end of the day, it's for greater good. So they say.
No, it is. It is, because I mean, I think it gives you a direction. It makes you have purpose. And you're not having to worry about creating your purpose. It's like the purpose is there. Like people create that for you. You have to meet
exactly.
that. So you feel like accomplished when you've met a goal, even if it wasn't a goal that you had in mind, like personally. It's an academic goal that someone set for you, and you just feel motivated to keep going and like striving to, you know, keep going to supersede what you've expected of yourself. Definitely. Yeah, I mean, I love school. I think school's really awesome. I'm glad that
it's great. Like I said, it fucking harvesting my brain cells that
Totally.
I wouldn't use otherwise. It just sucks though that it's just a big load of work that like I really don't have free time.
Yeah. So I mean, I think that's why we needed to take a break anyways, because I wanted you to be like mentally present.
Yeah,
You know, and
it's
open.
hard. Like I can't even really go out one day without neglecting some form of work.
Yeah.
You know, and it sucks because then I'm of the type who just has that in the back of their head.
Yeah, like you can't enjoy everything
and then
fully.
I
I'm
can't.
the same way.
Yeah.
Definitely, if I feel like there's something pressing. But I also think that sometimes you have to do it because you're just going to be stressed and overloaded.
Oh yeah,
and
for
that's
sure.
hard.
Yeah.
My only problem is that when you do that, sometimes you go really hard. I mean, not you, but me. Like, you know, like you wake up the next day like, whoa, what happened?
Well,
because it's just you were so tired, but you so wanted to like.
It's a buildup
Go hard,
of
you know?
that need that that you just need to let go. So it's normal.
Yeah, totally.
And I've been very careful not to do that with binge drinking.
Yeah, I wasn't saying it in so many words,
Don't
but
do
yes.
it.
Yeah,
but
totally.
alluding to.
Yeah, just various vices in general.
Exactly.
You know, I think I've become lately overly obsessed with working out because it's the same thing. I think I'm an extremist. We had this, who was it with one of our podcast guests? We were talking about extreme. I think it was Rick Rocks. We were talking about how extremists we are. Like, you just go 100 on everything. So if you're 100 about, like, when we jumped into the podcast, we were like 100, like hardcore, you know? And I think it goes with the same thing. Like, for me, it's like if I'm not working out now, I feel weird, and it fulfills this like extremist need I have. And so it's good if you hone it in and make choices in certain things. Like, you just have to do it. Like,
Yeah, that's been my
for the
stress
good.
reliever too at
Yeah.
school, since we have a free gym,
that's awesome.
which is not free because my tuition paid for it.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's
but it's
what they-
free.
That's what the math tells you. You know what's so funny? Hold on. Yesterday, I was driving by somewhere, and it said something like, "These buildings are being built with your taxpayer dollars." And there was like a logo of like the city and the company. I was like, bullshit. Like, I just love how it's like, I mean, I'm sure a certain percentage is, but it was just like the man telling you, like, be grateful, be thankful.
Your
Look at
tax dollars
Look
at
what we're
work.
doing for
Yeah.
you right now. We're building a building that has nothing to do with you, but just know, see, we take care of you. It was just so like, I was like, fuck you. Like,
If
bullshit.
shit goes to hell, it's your money.
Yeah, or like, it's just bullshit. They can build these things, but they can't build like homeless encampment. I mean, homeless spaces for more than like $700,000 right now. Like, bullshit. Like, anyways, I just think like where the money should be going versus a new building for a business. I don't care.
Well,
Give me a park, you know?
corporate America.
It's just bullshit. And then when they give you that, it's like a dad thing, you know, like, you should be grateful. You're just like, no, suck it. But anyways, sorry, brother.
No worries.
Go back to the gym.
The gym, yeah. I mean, that's an outlet right now, because you know all that. I get stressed the fuck out. Like, my tests are back to back, sometimes like 3 a day, and it's hard to stay like not stressed. Like, I don't
Yeah.
know. And so I'll go to the gym and I'll just fucking get on the bike
Good.
and just fucking go for like an hour.
Yeah, because you're into biking too. You're into cycling too.
and
I love
it's not the
cycling.
best bike, but I've been doing like a level each week.
Oh,
So
cool.
I started the first week at school. So I started like, I forget, like 10. So every week I've been going
Upping
like
it?
yeah. So
How long do you spin for?
for like 45 minutes.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Does it come with music? Like, is it just a bike?
I get my own music.
Okay,
no,
cool,
Yeah,
yeah.
they play music, but
Yeah.
I don't want to listen to bachata or fucking
like,
cumbia when I'm working out, you know.
this is a hood school.
Yeah, I trip out because like
I thought you were gonna say some like, I don't know,
no, because
some
they play
Taylor
like
Swift.
no, they play like hip hop often, like
Okay.
pretty often. And then the other day, like a
Bachata's so like,
yeah, I walked
I'm
in
like, are you in South
yesterday
Central?
morning, 7 a.m. playing bachata. I was
Wow, for the lovers.
just like.
That's hilarious.
No, it was just funny because there's only guys in there.
That's funny.
Buff guys.
It must be
listening
some.
to
It must be
bachata.
some Aventura fans.
Yeah, it totally was
like,
Aventura.
It was Aventura.
I
Yeah,
was
some
like, oh my
Aventura
God.
like guy running it, right?
And
That's
I
hilarious.
trip out, but you know, like I'm not into that. Like, I need my own like motivation
yeah.
and shit. And it sucks too because I have like listening quizzes for music.
Oh, cool.
So
Hey, that's like an app or something, right? Don't they
no,
have
no,
something?
no, like literally, like my teacher gives us a few songs
Oh,
to
that's
memorize
cool.
and shit for a test, and so I'll be on the bike listening to that playlist.
That's so cool.
It's kinda cool.
Oh, I like. Oh, you don't think it's cool? I think it's cool.
It's okay. I mean, it's not workout music. That's what makes it not
okay.
cool.
Got it.
But-
is it classical or something?
No, so
is it?
it's world music.
Oh, cool. That's
So,
even cooler.
yeah, it's
But I
kinda
get it.
cool.
Sometimes it's probably a little weird.
Like, we started with like Irish music, so it was just a bunch of bagpipes and whistles. So
Okay.
that's a little weird while
But is
you're
it-
spinning and shit.
Is it like famous,
Not really.
or is it just like?
No, like
Here's a bagpipe.
traditional Irish.
Okay,
Like,
well, I like-
this is a penny whistle, and it
Oh.
was funny because
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
I actually think that's pretty cool.
we started with the it's called the Sailor's Hornpipe,
Okay.
and it's the theme song for Popeyes.
Okay.
For Popeye.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, that so then there's the bugle horn though, right? And that's like the army one. Like that's a
We didn't learn that one.
Okay, no, I'm just sorry. Random. That's not even wrong
No.
country.
And then it was cool
Right.
too because then he was like, "Oh, so you guys know the song Danny Boy by
Yeah.
Elton John?" We're like, "Yeah." And
Well,
so,
that's not the OG, but
yeah, and they're like, "Well, this is the original." And
Yeah.
it was like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I was like, "All right, I get it," you know. So yeah, it's a cool class, you know. But
That's pretty cool.
like that's what I'm trying to tell you too. Like, I can't go work out sometimes without having to still do work.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and it's like this weird stress relief with stress adding.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I'm like, fuck, I have a test in the day, so I need to memorize all these songs, but I also need to get my workout in.
That's
So
good that
it's
you're doing
kinda
that
like,
though. So you're not sacrificing one over the other. You're
Yeah.
just like sandwiching.
And it kind of helps me remember because, you know, I'm so focused when I work out
Mm-hmm.
that I feel like it kind of.
Locks it in.
Yeah, because I just focus on the music, and they have like a TV, but I try not to look at it because then I
Yeah.
just find myself like
Yeah. Ugh. TV, dude. That's another thing.
it's so hard though
I struggle with
because
TV.
they play like South Park, and it's fucking so funny.
That's funny. I can't believe that's so funny that you said that. I was actually watching TV and they had South Park on, and I was like, damn, dude, they're still on. And then that made me think of The Simpsons. And The Simpsons, I remember had like when I was like maybe 14, were like 20 years old or something. Like The Simpsons has been on forever. Like it's just it's like ever.
Forever.
It's like Saturday Night Live status.
Yeah, they're
Like,
still going hard.
I was in Arizona and my friend and I were staying at an Airbnb and we never, I mean, she and I both don't have, because, you know, when you're on vacation, you're just on a different schedule. And we were sitting in a bed and we were watching TV and it was late at night. It was probably like, it was not even late. It was like 11, whatever Saturday Night Live is
was
on. But for me,
9:30.
right. But for me, it's like, I have not been staying up for shit. So SNL was on and we were like, dude, SNL's on. Like, what? And like, we're both old school. We don't watch SNL though. We started watching it and it was actually pretty funny. And I was like, wow, like
Yeah, that's another.
I don't rock any of that anymore. But the fact that it's all still like going, I'm like, who's watching this? And the thing is that it's kind of sad because like in my generation, even in our generations, it was like Friday night Simpsons was on. Everybody had to go watch it. Like if you didn't watch it, you missed it. And maybe you'd see it in some weird like rerun in years, or you'd have to like find it somehow. But like back in the day, it's like we were all watching the same thing.
Yeah, true.
We were
Same
all
time.
same time. If you missed it, it was like that sucked for you. You can't find it. And there was like a universal like cultural connection because we were all listening to the same music when it came out, the same albums came out, and because everything is so diffused now, it's like none of us are having these universal cultural connections anymore. So you bringing it back to what you were talking about, that's what's happening. It's just so much. And we all have these. It's a good thing too though, because it's like now we have options.
Yeah.
You know? We
But
have more options
you know,
to be individuals.
it's cool that you point that out because I feel a little isolated from the trending shows. One, I don't have time to sit and
It's
watch
time.
20 episodes of
Binging
of
something.
1 hour. You know, like I can't do that, and to some extent, I feel like fuck, I'm not in the current. Like I don't know what happened in Stranger Things season 2, episode 5. Or,
Yeah, totally. But do you care?
No, but like society, I feel like they tell me like you should care. Like this is the show to watch, and I'm just like, well, I don't feel
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
Like, you
but
know-
yeah, I know. But see, what I was asking you is though, do you individually care?
No,
Okay.
I really don't. I tried watching it, and then Monique just kind of surpassed me. She's like,
We
well,
shouldn't wait.
you never have time to watch it. And I'm just
Yeah.
like, well, I guess I'm not watching it then.
Yeah, and
Like,
that's sometimes you just got to be like,
yeah, well, like
Duns,
I'm not
yeah.
about it. Like
she could call me though.
the
I'll
only
watch
show
it.
I've really finished up to date is like Empire.
Okay.
But that one I'll actively watch because it's about music, you know. And
Yeah.
There's so much drama. It's so juicy.
Yeah. See, I don't. I'm not.
It's
in
great.
It. I haven't. See how I didn't react. Like, oh my god.
you have to watch
You
it.
have see, yeah, and I have shows like that too, but not recently. Nothing. I'm very same thing. Loner World. Like the
Yeah.
things I watch, I'm like nobody's watching with me.
And all we were watching America's Funniest Home Videos.
You guys were? That's old. It's still on? What? It's on?
It's on Hulu.
Okay. But is it new, current?
Yeah.
Oh, crazy. You know what?
Fucking season 30.
Oh my gosh, see? And that's what I'm talking about. The Simpsons is like season 40, season 50.
Season 30.
It has to be.
I trip out because I'm like,
50. No.
30, that has to be at least like 30 years, you know?
That's insane. My mom used to work for America's Funniest Home Videos.
No way.
And America's Funniest People. And then I was like, what's the difference between both of them? Nothing. Like I was like
A letter.
analyzing it.
AVP.
People? Like
No,
it
America's-
was like the same thing. Like what's that about? The different. I think it was just another reason to put more home videos. And then I was thinking I was watching a show on MTV and then Ridiculousness came on.
Oh, yeah.
That show's been going on for a minute too. I don't
Yeah.
know why it's still happening. I mean, I'm not hating on him. He's a cool person, but it's just like I just realized it's America's Funniest Home Videos
I like
for the
watching
extreme.
it too. Yeah. I like watching it too, but it's like, I feel like they just take the trending videos and then they just use that.
Yeah.
So I feel like it lacks some sort of originality.
There is no content in it really. It's just
Yeah.
them kind of talking
And that
shit.
chick,
Chanel.
she fucking, her laugh is,
I think she's cute.
she's cute, but God,
I mean, that's why she's there.
Like,
Let's be
take it
honest.
down a notch,
She's
you
just
know?
there, eye candy. They just dress her up and sit her there, and she just laughs. Like that's a great job. I wish I could
she
just
sit there and not
just like
laugh.
I don't even know how she laughs. And then they have like a guest, right?
See, I would watch it for the guests because
I never know the guest talking about.
I
it.
don't
Usually I'm
either,
like,
yeah.
who's this person? Like, who should I know?
Oh my God, the last time I watched it,
That's how I
they
know I'm not.
had this like country dude, but he was like, he's famous because he released like an album that just says a bunch of bad words and talks about women and shit like that.
Oh, so he's doing the contrast of like he's anti-country.
No, he's as country as fuck because he.
That's
he
what I
came
mean,
in-
though.
Yeah, he came in with like a hat.
No, he's
and-
like the Too Short of Country or something.
I guess, but he wasn't rapping or anything.
No, I know, but I'm just saying he's that like extremist. Because country is usually like love and family and
There's a lot of
sadness
drinking, and it talks about like doing things,
Yeah.
but like indirectly. So what?
Okay, so not on the nose. It's not like on the nose.
So this guy
crass.
was upfront and like no shame, like about my sex life and.
That's
like,
what I'm
my
talking
drinking.
about. So it is like that.
Okay,
It's like
yeah,
it's
then,
like like the sugar free of country, but not rapping.
Yeah, that like they didn't want to sell his albums in like Walmart and shit because it was too explicit.
Oh gosh.
And he's like, "Well, I don't give a fuck."
I think that's so funny now. Like I had this whole like mind explosion when I was driving to the airport or something. I was going somewhere and there was this big billboard of the Wu-Tang. Like the
Oh,
new
yeah.
Wu-Tang. And I
Yeah.
went, this is where I am in my life where there's freaking billboards of a group that like people used to like you couldn't play it. It was underground. It was like the most underground, like at least when I was growing up, it was
yeah.
like that was like, you know, it was cool. It was like the coolest thing. Now I'm not saying it's good for them, you know. It's just I struggle with that sometimes because you think that something's sort of like very independent and a certain group of people are into it, so you kind of know those people. But then when it starts to become so commercialized, it's just like, it's just weird. It's weird to see all these people.
Well, they're making a movie or a show.
They did someone's gonna be watching this and be annoyed that we don't know this.
Well, I don't
No,
know.
it was like a it was like a not a documentary. I think it's like a yeah, it was like a show, an episodic
docu-series.
a docu-series. No, I think it was like a show on like one of the online like a Hulu or a Netflix.
Yeah,
it's
I've
like
seen
one of
it,
those.
but-
It's like a you know, because that's where we're at. Like you can. Some people are Hulu, some people are Netflix, some people are whatever Amazon
HBO,
Prime
yeah.
Video. I think it's just it's so weird. So that's what's happening, I guess. I guess now we're all kind of branching off into these separate sectors of, you know, whatever platform you're using, and then that's where you can kind of relate with people, as opposed to just like the universal networks
Fox.
and stuff. Yeah, I don't even watch anything or do it. Like I don't even know what's going on there.
I know. I realized that we have like a free app on my smart TV,
Oh.
where we can watch like regular TV.
Oh.
It's
How
kind
long
of cool.
did that take you to figure
A fucking like a year.
Right? Isn't that funny? Like
Because Monique, I
these
think
options.
Monique was like bored and she was just going through all the apps, and then she's like, "Look what I found," and it's kind of cool because it has like "Are You the One?" in Espanol.
Oh, what?
Yeah, and so
That's funny.
I was watching. I forget what it was called, but it was just cool. Like, it was just a show, but in Spanish, and there's a bunch of like good-looking people like.
Yeah.
No, que este cabrón. Y que... I'm like, what the fuck? So it's kind of cool, you know, and
That's
like
cool.
it has just a show for like Bounty Hunter, the dog or whatever.
Yeah,
the
the
fuck his name.
dude with the
So
guy.
just constant day and night, just
That's just,
Bounty
like,
Hunter.
the channel?
Just one show.
That's crazy.
And then yeah, it's kind of cool, but it's like, do I really want to sit here and waste my life?
Yeah, that's how it
watching
feels.
all these shows.
I think that's how it feels too for me.
And
most of the
it's
time.
annoying because we're not used to commercials.
Oh yeah.
So it has commercials, so that takes away my energy from.
You're
wanting
like,
to-
I'm out. But
Yeah.
isn't that crazy? Because like now you're just not patient. That's kind of why, like legit, I have Pandora, but I don't pay for it, and it's something about I refuse to pay for it. I'm just so adamant about not paying for it, and I know I annoy people because I know certain people who have like said like, well, why don't you just pay for it? Because like they don't want to hear the.
the commercials?
But I want to I want to stay humble. So like letting myself sit through commercials and just dealing with it because I know that's just like weird, but I'm like, no, Lonnie, you're not going to give in.
Don't give in. Yeah,
to the
don't give
thing
in.
of like the entitlement
It's
of
just
like
30
God
seconds,
forbid I
okay?
have to listen to a thing, you know, like I just want to be tolerant. I don't want to be intolerant to that because I just don't want to create that for myself. It's weird, you know. And there's people who are like, they're like, why do that to yourself? But I still don't. I just think it's bullshit. You know what it
yeah,
is too? Is
I
like
mean-
I don't know how much. It's like $15 a month or something. That's a lot of money. Like
is.
that could be something else. That could be something really. You could donate to the hungry. You know, like do that. Like deal with it. Every time you hear a commercial, know that that money went to Africa or whatever. You know what I mean? Like turn that into some sort of like, I don't know, a goodwill gesture as opposed to just like a entitled move.
Yeah,
Money
I feel
move.
you.
I don't know. I just, that's me.
I know.
It's a weird.
I have that
dichotomy.
same notion with food now.
Oh, what do you mean?
Having the patience to actually make your own food.
Oh, yeah.
Like convenience is a bitch, you know.
Heck yeah.
But
Yeah, dude.
but likewise, like I feel gratified when I cook like a meal and I can enjoy it.
I agree with that.
Because more often than not, you'll go out and eat somewhere and something's not right, or
Dude, that's exactly how I feel.
Or some-
I'm not satisfied.
yeah.
I'm just like, I could have made this at home. I could have made
yeah.
it better.
Now I'm like $20 out.
Yeah, out of the hole. And for
I
whatever.
can't take my coffee.
and that's the other reason why I think because we also enjoy cooking. I don't think that relates to people who don't like cooking.
That's true.
So for people who don't enjoy cooking, they don't understand that because they don't like to cook.
It's tough.
I love cook. I don't know.
Yeah, but
I'm saying it based on
it's a trip because Monique is starting to experience that cooking aspect. And sometimes she gets deterred by it not coming out the way it should have.
Mm-hmm.
But I have to keep reminding her, like, it's okay. Like, you tried. Next time your recipe's going to be better.
Absolutely.
It's incremental. Like, I remember when I first started cooking, my
Yeah.
plates were shit, you know?
Yeah.
My meat was always burned, always dry. The only thing I could really make was a sandwich, you know?
Yeah.
But you push yourself because you're like, fuck, I want to make this or whatever. Like, the other day, she made bacon mac and cheese from scratch. Bomb.
there you go.
Like,
Yeah.
I was like, better than anything
We
boxed.
could have
like,
bought. I know
yeah.
a few really good places though. But yeah, I agree.
Well, I mean,
but
it's-
you got to have the time.
Yeah.
You got to get all the recipe, all the stuff. And the thing about something like that, usually too, is that then you have a lot of it. So it's like invite people
Exactly.
over. But you know what I mean? Because that's a lot of times why I don't want to. I usually will cook just for me. But like if I'm making something like grand, because that's very like grandiose. It's good. But it's something that you're probably gonna have a lot more of usually because you just do. So I think that's something.
Yeah, I mean, she only made a small casserole, but yeah, it was a lot.
Yeah.
Like her cousin was over, and like we
Yeah.
all had seconds, and there was still like a portion left. I was like, "Fuck, dude."
I think for
And-
me,
and-
that's why I've kicked back on making those kinds of things, because then it's always extra, and then I don't want to eat.
But that's
that
okay.
much.
Like for us, like there's two of us, so
Yeah, totally.
we're
It's
like,
different.
fuck it.
Yeah.
If we have a little bit extra, then we have
Yeah.
leftovers. Or
I think too, like I haven't been like inviting people. Like I haven't been doing that for a while, like for whatever reason. So I think that'll give me the reason to do it. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, there's fam is coming over, so I'm gonna make like enough for everybody, and then people can take shit home. You know? But yeah, I think cooking is a huge. I think the only time I like going out like to eat is if I'm gonna get quality drinks that I don't know, like that I'm not gonna make at home, or I'm gonna eat food that I would never prepare here, like sushi. I'm not gonna buy the Toro and like do the whole thing here. And
I'm down.
yeah, some people are,
But-
I know friends who are
Yeah,
like
I
about
mean, specialty
cutting
shit.
sushi.
Yeah, like that. You're right.
Yeah, or shabu shabu or yakitori. Like it's usually Japanese. It's usually the Asian sector that I'm not gonna like. Maybe I'll use a wok, but like not really. I mean, like it's not my jam. So I'd rather go because it's so family style too, that you want to partake in it. It's kind of weird. It's kind of like if I order like sushi at the market and get like the to-go sushi. I mean, it can be really good sometimes, but it's
Yeah.
like $15 for, you're just like, could have had a whole meal
Yeah.
for $15.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
those
a snack, you know?
those are luxe items. You know.
Yeah. So that's why the only reason is for luxe items. If I'm trying to be blingy and I know I'm not going to make that here, that I rock it somewhere else with squad, with peeps, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it's also like being creative with food. Like my fucking daily meal is like a sandwich, you know. But every time I eat that sandwich, I'm like, this is $12 I saved. So it makes
I
it makes
visualize
it
that.
slightly better.
I absolutely agree. Sometimes I'm driving home from work and I'm like, don't have, like I have food, but it's all like not ready yet. And I'll be like, I want to pull over. I want to go. I'll just go pick up this fast food thing real quick. And not fast food, but like just to go. And I'll just be like, dude, that's $15. That's $15. Like you could put that on a trip, or you could put that on, you know, something you need at the house, whatever. And usually 80%, 85% of the time I'm like, go home. And then I go home and I think what it is too is when you get home and you're hungry, just eat like something with substance, like a banana, just to hold you down, and then make food. I think, I don't know, it's just because it's that stress of just like that. I think it's more not even about the food. It's about that immediate need to get what you want right then and there.
Yeah.
And that's what
Yeah.
that's now what we're struggling
It doesn't
with.
help that you're hungry.
It doesn't help, but I also think that psychologically, when you know that it's just that knowing that you can have whatever you want at an instant, that Amazon Prime mind state of like, oh, I don't have to go to the market. I can order it. It's going to be here tomorrow, and I don't have to do anything for it. I think that's becoming sort of such a huge issue.
Dude, 1-day delivery.
Oh, look. I turned on, and I didn't even... We'll see how that works. Yeah, 1-day delivery.
1-day delivery. I trip out on that.
Yeah, and it's
Like
here.
poor Amazon workers.
Well, you can look at it like that, or
You
you
have
can look
12
at it like,
hours to deliver this.
seriously. Or you can look at it like, hey, there's more jobs for real people.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
true
which is
too.
what I look at it now, like the offset of not working at an Amazon store or whatever.
Offset.
Yeah, offset. How dare you?
No, yeah, I mean, I trip out too because I have this guy in 2 of my classes. First thing in the morning at 8, and then later at 1. So there was this one day he came in with a coffee. I'm just like, whatever, just the coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Big fucking coffee, right? I'm like, well, that's like $3,
Mm-hmm.
let's just say. Later again, he comes back with another coffee just as big, and I'm just like, damn, $6. And then he was eating food that he had bought, like another $6. So I'm just like, dude,
Yeah, it's
it's like
expensive.
$20 a
Going
day,
Going out.
but you're at school, and I'm just like, fuck, dude. How much money am I saving just eating this fucking sandwich?
So much.
Yeah.
And you know what? I trip out on people now that I don't use Postmates or any of that. I know one day I will, but seriously, dude, I know so many people that use Postmates like every single day, and
In
I'm
the
like,
summer?
dude, like what?
In the summer,
The
my
millennials, the
coworkers-
kids, the
Yeah,
youngsters,
yeah.
that's all they do. I used
Here,
to work.
let me pay $12 for a latte when it's really only $4.
It's sad. They don't even they don't even recognize.
They don't.
I know kids that are like 25 years old that are postmating at my job, and it's all the millennials that aren't even really thinking. And every single day, I mean, they're even on Starbucks. I'm just like, and every time they'll bring in their like Starbucks Postmated, I'm like, how much did that cost? Because I rock Starbucks, but my coffee's $2.45. Like it's a black coffee because I'm that person.
I know, and
I
every
don't
time
get those like frappa.
every
matcha,
time I talk to
whatevers.
people about that, I'm always like, I save $2 on my
being so
coffee.
judgy, dude.
No, but it's true. Like I'll be like, I make my own coffee to save $2, and they're like, coffee doesn't cost $2. I'm like,
Oh my
well, when
gosh,
you drink
dude.
it black, yeah, you drink your coffee black.
Again,
it's
it's
like, yeah,
Yeah.
why is that weird? Like,
Yeah.
Like I'm paying $4 for my coffee, and it's like, well, it's not even coffee.
It's
at
not
that point.
coffee, it's
like
dessert.
sugar,
It's all
sugar, whipped
sugars.
cream, and
Yeah,
some
it's a
half and half.
dessert. It's like it's a sundae. It's real bad.
Well, it's
like,
Saturday actually.
haha, that's funny. That's a good one. You're so punny, brother. Anyway, so looking in the future, I guess we should wrap it up soon. I know we got stuff to do. I guess I have some really awesome content and people coming through. So be on the lookout, you guys. I think we have some really different. I always like bringing different guests. My thing is it's hard because I know so many music people that it's easy to fall back because I have so many awesome music people that are interested, and I'm interested in bringing them on. But it's also like offsetting it
Offset.
with various other careers and different people that are rocking different things and lifestyles. So I think for me, that's looking ahead. What about you? What do you think? What are you looking forward to in the future podcasting that we do? I mean, what do you think you've gotten out of it now versus like what you want for the future?
I think exposing people that way
Yeah.
has brought some sort of like new way of looking at things,
Totally.
because almost every time I leave a recording and I listen back, it changes the way I think a little bit, because I'm one of the people that would take their words and like kind of take them as truth, because I realize that the people that come on here speak their truth, and it's unfiltered truth. Like it's a different type of truth that they would probably never speak outside. And I think what we have here is the ability to kind of, it's like a banana, like peel off the shell and then get to the real good stuff.
Yeah.
I know that's a bad analogy, but
No, it's not bad. I get it. I think kind of like an onion in layers and stuff too.
yeah. Like,
Well,
like
I found that it's a struggle because some people really will expose themselves quickly.
Yeah,
and open themselves
exactly.
up, and then other people it kind of takes. I think that's a struggle that I have sometimes with some guests. It's like I want to be respectful of people's privacy, but at the same time I want them to feel comfortable enough to like share things, because I think when they share truths, other people listen and they take whatever they can from it, and then they grow from it. And there's been times where, reflecting back, there have been people that have been a little bit more guarded. But by the end, I always feel like there is some sort of truth that comes. I also think that people say and make these promises to themselves, not to me, but they make these sort of, like they'll talk about their goals, they'll talk about their dreams, and they're setting their intentions. And I think because it's being recorded, it's really helpful for them to actually follow through on things. Like I've had people say after, like, oh shit, like I said that, I'm gonna have to really do that now. And I think with us setting this intention today, we can't let anybody down, which actually really means us. It's like we're speaking into the world and sending this message that this is what we're intending to do.
don't worry, I'll edit that part out.
Right,
so.
we'll just cut it out. That was never said.
Nothing was ever said.
But what I really like about the podcast is it's setting intentions for people, and doing it authentically. It's not, the intention is not, for me, it's just like, what, for me, first among equals is people telling me how they got to where they got to, what led them there. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to tell me what you're going to do in the future, but people organically just start sharing what looking forward. And sometimes I'll like from the jump be like, so looking forward,
No, yeah, I
where do
mean,
you see yourself? You know, like it's a very adult question to ask people.
I think being on this side and just the nature of the life we live in, it's kind of what's the word I'm looking for? We're so like shielded from having to express ourselves that way,
Yeah.
that I think that when people get on this side, that wall kind of breaks down, and we see like a person that, like, I trip out like when Rick Rocks came in, and like even Germism, like I was a little intimidated, like no offense, but you know, then they started speaking, and just like they're such kind people, and they're really like down to earth, and it's just not what, like, image isn't everything.
No, absolutely.
You know, and the more they talked, the more I realized, like, damn, these people are more like me than I realized.
Absolutely.
And I would never have seen that outside.
No, not at all.
Like,
you see
and-
them on the street or
and
just meet them.
This is like the only context that we can really see people in a different light. You know?
Absolutely.
And it's completely like unique. It's like none of this is scripted. It's all
Hold on,
like.
let me check. No. What did you say that right?
Wait, is
Yeah,
that right?
I know,
No,
right?
I'm
Cue card. Wrong cue card.
But I think that's what adds to the flavor of this
Damn, the flavor.
of this thing that we're doing.
Yeah, this is a
podcast.
thing. This is definitely a weird thing.
And you know, the feedback that you get from people, or that we get from people,
Yeah, we do.
is kind of a reminder that we ourselves are not the only ones that feel like that. You know, that you're right, that other people need to hear this stuff so that they can feel okay about what they're doing. Or maybe they needed to hear something that is going to make them,
Absolutely.
like, you know.
It is a
and-
catalyst for a lot of people have said that after that. They'll be like, oh wow, like that really hearing myself made me motivate myself to keep pushing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm actually going through this thing too with my friend. She's trying to decide what to do after her college. Like, she's graduating from CC, and she's like, I don't know what to do. And I'm like, well, go talk to a counselor. Sometimes, and this is what I told her, sometimes hearing yourself speak to other people is gonna show you what you really want.
Absolutely.
Because it's one thing to type, and it's one thing to be
Totally.
like, I think this, I think that. I'm like, just go talk to them, and they're not going to tell you, like, what you should do. They're going to give you guidelines on what you can do, but ultimately, what do you want to do? And, you know, speaking that out loud, you hear it. And if it feels weird, then it's probably not right. But if it just comes naturally, and you're like confident about what it is, then fucking that's what you need to do.
And sometimes the universe, like once you ask the universe by making the action, just changing the direction, reaching out to other people, like you said, texting doesn't give you that a lot. It doesn't. And I think the FaceTime with people is like what we're starting to lose. And so having these, like, you know, because this is a setup, we do set this up, but having it's a forced conversation. I think it really does force you to be that person that we used to be when we used to just call each other on the phone. And even if I called you and I really had nothing to say to you, I mean, most people, like, you have to call for a reason now. It's like, oh, I'm just calling you because whatever.
I know.
But not
in the
having
summer
a reason.
too, we had a friend who would just call us to talk, and it was just like, I'm
It's
so
weird,
not
right?
used to it.
And
Yeah.
people clown, and I know most of the people I know aren't down with it still. Like, I'm down with it now. Like, I'm
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
call
yeah.
people to just be like, what's up? How are you? Because I think that's why a lot of, like, the suicide.
How can I help you?
Yeah,
I
like,
just want to talk.
you're like,
Okay.
okay, what's up? Like, go.
All right then.
Yeah, but I think, you know, we used to do that.
Yeah.
So now it's getting less and less, and, you know, people come in your house, like, people don't do that anymore. They have to call you to see if you're home and why are you coming? Like, so I think this kind of it combats all of the, like you said, the coldness, the shielding of all the new technology, and being able to be that cold. It's like just calling someone, it takes a lot of balls now. having these conversations and being online and putting yourself out there, it takes guts for you and I to sit here and do this. And I think it takes a lot of guts for all the amazing people that have come to the podcast and all the amazing people that will be in the podcast. I definitely think that you and I were looking at it like we were going hard in the paint for months and months. I think that in the future, it's definitely looking at it like we can compartmentalize it a little better so we can take a break and be more realistic to our needs outside of this. So I think like we're going to rev it up and do it for a few months and then see how it goes and see, you know, because I've always said, what I like is that it's a time capsule. We can go back in time and we already have 6 months of podcasting that we can look back on and remember in 10, 20 years. And it's a gift to whoever needs to hear it. So yeah, so.
And it's out there.
Totally.
You know, someone's gonna come across it at some point. I feel
people already have like
because
I'll look
like
at views and
I know like
people are still watching and
I'll
it's just
Google
there.
First Among Equals. It's like one of the top things there.
Yeah, I had someone hit me up and say like they heard First Among Equals, not our podcast, but they heard the saying First Among Equals and they were so excited and happy that they knew sort of like it was you know, when you hear things like when you visualize and see it and then suddenly it's in your life and it appears to you like it's like a connection, which is funny that you said that earlier because what happened a few weeks ago is I was feeling mad disconnected. I was partying and just off the grid doing stuff. And then recently, a few days ago, I was like, damn, I got to get the shit back together. I got to get my shit together. And then at work, they threw me in to do a live, like a Facebook live. And it wasn't something they're like, oh, do me a favor. Can you, like, I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll do you a favor. Oh, actually, can you sit in on this thing? And it was like, at that time, the day before, I had asked the universe and told myself, like, okay, I need to get my face back in front of the camera. And it takes a lot. And literally the next morning, it was like, no script, just go do it and whatever. And it reaffirmed what I had already been asking for in a way that I had not even realized was going to come to me.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's just, that's the nature of it. It's like sometimes you just ask for it and you don't know which way or how it's going to come at you, but you got to be ready.
Yeah,
like, you just got to be like.
I had a similar encounter because we have to do this project for my psychology class.
Yeah.
And I had to make a group, and within my group we discussed on how to present this one topic. And we had the options of either acting it out, drawing it out, or like making some kind of animation.
Okay.
So we decided to go with drawings, and we did voiceovers. And so the other day, I recorded everybody.
Oh,
and I was just
cool.
like, I know exactly what I need to do.
That's
I was
amazing.
Like,
See?
Because I was like, my podcast skills, and I told them too, I was like, you know, I have like this general idea of how to record and how to put it together. And I was like, you just got to trust me. Like, all I need from all of you is to draw the shit out.
Awesome.
And make
brother.
a script for yourself.
That's so.
And so the other day I recorded them. And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to go home and I'm going to put all this shit together.
That's so cool.
And I thought they were a little hesitant at first because I don't know these people.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. But
I've
that's your
only known them for
confidence
like
shining
10
through.
weeks. Yeah.
That's what's up.
And when I would explain to them, they're just kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't know what any of that means.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, trust me. And so it's pretty cool. I'm actually very, very impressed on how it turned out. It's a little cheesy.
I gotta see it.
But it's kind of like too, like I opened up the video program and I was just like, what is this shit? I've been out of it for so long that.
Crazy,
but
right?
I was like, you know what? This is a perfect precursor to me getting back into it.
Word.
And I was just like, you know, I started getting familiar with it again. And then after that, it took me like 4 hours to do. But
You
it's
did
a
it.
project, yeah. And I did it. And then I showed it to them and they were just like, whoa.
That's
Like,
awesome.
I didn't think it would turn out like that. And I don't think they were dissing me or anything like
No,
that.
no.
But
I
was
it.
just like, my skills are pretty honed on that. And I'm pretty impressed too. I put background music. It's pretty cool. Like, I'm even impressed.
Dude,
with how
I feel
it
like I
came out.
want to like share. Is it able to share?
Well, I'm uploading it to YouTube.
All right, cool. So we'll add the link on the bottom of this this podcast.
Well,
so you guys can
I don't
check
know
it
if
out.
I'm gonna keep it up.
All right, well, it'll
it's
be
just for my
on.
psych class.
All right, I still think we should do that.
It's
if
pretty
you guys
cool
wanna
though.
see it.
Yeah, like
Just whatever.
it's creative, and you know, I feel like it's very interesting because, like, I feel like if I wasn't in their group,
That wouldn't happen, bro.
that wouldn't have happened. Yeah.
That's how I always feel when I'm in a group. I'm like, this shit wouldn't have happened if I wasn't in your group.
Yeah, I mean,
Whatever it was.
I hate to be that person.
No, be that
like,
person.
That cockiness, but but it's a lot of pressure too because I felt like I was the only one initiating.
Yeah, well, that's life stories.
Yeah, but
Hey, it's better to be the initiator.
The
Initiator.
initiator.
Yes. Dude, I want to go see it. I'm going to go see it.
the best.
I got to see the Terminator.
since T2.
I got to see it.
T2 was the best one though.
You think T2 was the best one? Wait, was that with Claire Danes? That's the one. I don't mind that one. Was that before? Sorry, I know someone knows this is going to be pissed off.
T2 is the one where
With the cop, with the female cop?
no.
Who was the villain?
Was
it himself?
No. It was the skinny dude.
Oh, the cop. The
Yeah.
other male cop.
Yeah, and
That dude, that actor. He was like on a Fox show. Well, yeah,
he did a
him.
lot of fucking things.
Yeah, he's an OG, the white guy.
And where they go steal the hand.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
the
that's
best
a good
one.
one. I don't know.
They go try to kill Dyson.
I gotta watch it. I gotta re-up my.
Yeah.
You know what I want to see? The Predator again. Do you remember the Predator? Okay.
I never got into it. Really.
That is such a dope storyline. The alien, they come down to headhunt humans. It's like so cool. Like it's so futuristic. Those movies are fire. I know they're gonna redo it. Mark my words. October 26th. Is that what it is today? Whatever.
Yes.
Watch. Like as if that's not gonna. It's gonna happen. Just watch. Lonnie said it. FAE podcast.
Don't quote me, but quote
Don't
me.
quote me, but quote me. Anyways, all right. So we will see you guys. I guess we're gonna wrap up. We got stuff to do, people. We got to do more podcasts. So stay tuned because we are gonna bring you some legit content for the new year because it's almost 2020. Anyways, we got one more month, so we're probably gonna be recording for the next few months and starting spitting stuff out in the new year. So check us out for Some Unequals podcast. If you don't follow us on Instagram,
Snapchat,
FAE,
Twitter,
we don't have Snapchat. TikTok.
I don't know. I'm just kind of.
Instagram for sure. I know people keep telling me I gotta put it up on iTunes, and we're gonna do all that. We'll do all that shit this year. I said it, so now we have to say it. Now we have to do it. Anyways, so peace
Damn,
out,
you
you
did,
guys.
huh?
I did.
Damn.
Now it's gonna happen.
All right.
It's set in stone. All right, peace, you guys.
Peace.
Bye.